You let your belly be soft and just do the pattern and see how that feels as an experiment. There's a study out of Australia from a long time ago that talked about people with low back pain and the assumption that it's always a weak core. What they've noticed is that it's not so much that the core isn't weak, is that the internal core unit isn't firing before movement. And that's not something you want to think about because you can't think about that all the time. Uh, you can think about it now. You know, one way to keep the internal unit kind of turned on is to actually think of squeezing either the front of your hip bones together or, even more interesting, trying to smile below your belly button, smile your muscles out to your hip bones. That can be confusing for people. So hip bones in is a little more obvious. Now, if you're ready, add a head lift. Warming up the spine and flexion, warming up the hips, working the hips gently in this position, working the hip flexors, I should be more specific. Two more like this. Take breaks along the way if you need to. And then hug your knees into your chest. Now, the softer way to open the hips is to hold your knees and circle. Because now you're limiting the range of motion here. You're giving your body some support. Stronger would be hands down by your hips or even stronger, arms overhead, and then circling your legs a little bit more so that your feet can actually brush the mat. Now you'll notice as you widen your legs, you're going to increase the external rotation of your hip, and that will increase the lumbar, the lower back lordosis. So external rotation increases the low back arching. And there are some spinal conditions that don't love an arch. So you can still get the abdominal work, but in this case, I would say glue your lower back down. You may not get your legs as wide as you want them to go, which is fine. So always take priority for the thing that bothers you and working around it rather than forcing your body. Go the other direction to do something full range. So when we do things full range or we push our range of motion, we're out of contentment. That's a I've got to go for it mentality. Just honoring the range that you have that's comfortable, while it might feel like, oh, I'm not really doing anything, you're doing a lot. You're keeping the range of motion that's comfortable in your body going, which is super important in the aging process. Two more. Good. Hug both knees into chest. We got a little bit more. I'm going to start with the easy variation. Let me start with the easiest variation today. Okay, and we'll just progress it. Exhale, right knee to chest. You can use your hands to pull in. This is going to increase the range of motion because your hands can get your leg a little further in than hands free. Inhale down, exhale. So just a slow reach of your knee to your chest. Slow your breath down so you're not moving too quickly. Notice what you're feeling. Good. You want to make it more core work, arms overhead. Exhale, one knee to chest. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, one knee to chest. Inhale, tap down. You want to make it harder still or more challenging. Bring both knees to your chest. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Reach one leg long. This is going to be a little bit more of a stretch for the front of your hip. I like to point the toes on this because that stretches the front line of the leg versus flexing, which gives you more the back line. But if it feels good to flex, flex. It's splitting hairs at this point. Good. Do you need to keep your lower back glued down? Does that feel better? Or does it feel better to be a little freer with the movement? Great. If you're ready for more and your neck and shoulders are okay, lift up. Do the movement lifting up. Harder still, arms overhead. That can be very much of a strain on the neck. Move your chin away from your chest. If you feel strain in your neck and shoulders, I would just stay with arms forward. A few of you could go both legs out, both legs in. And this can be done with the head down. Both legs out, both legs in. Neck and shoulders can be more off duty, but you're still getting strong core work. And whatever we're doing, it's 4, and it's 3, and it's 2, and 1. Everything comes in. Feet come down flat. Pause. Rest your hands on your low belly or find that space where you open your arms out and you let your arms be a little bit wider than you think. See if you can find a sweet spot. Inhale through your nose. Maybe your inhale is even longer now. Exhale out of your mouth. Great. Keeping your feet flat, keeping everything plugged in. Lift your toes up. Yep, exactly like that, everybody. Lift your toes up and spread your toes. Now, in this case, the toes tend to come in. Their resting place is close together for a lot of us. So let's go for it just a little bit more and really stretch the pinkies to the outer edges of your mat and the big toes to the inner edges of your mat. So they're going in 2 opposite directions, and just notice what's turning on in your feet. Relax your toes back down and notice the ends of your toes. Just can you feel the ends of your toes? All right, 4 parts. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hips lift up. Keep your arms softly reaching overhead. Inhale, roll your spine down. Really let your back find the mat all the way from the shoulder to the tailbone. Exhale, lower arms. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hips lift. Keep your arms where they are. Inhale, roll your spine down. Exhale, lower arms. Perfection. Repeat. Inhale, reach. Each part has a breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, lower arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. No rush on the movement. I may be instructing more quickly. Inhale, come down than your actual breath. 2 more on your own. Great. So let's combo platter. In traditional yoga, when you do a back bend, you counterbalance, gorgeous Sandy, you counterbalance with a twist usually. So let's do combo platter of abs and twist. Why not? So we'll start again with just the easiest variation, hands behind your head. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. And I'm letting you curl in. Sometimes I'll say exhale, right elbow, left knee. I'll say to keep your elbow back and just bring your chest across. That makes it harder. So curling in makes it a little bit easier. Keeping your elbows wide makes it a little more challenging. The elbow wide thing often also, though, makes you feel like you're straining your neck, which is why people tend to curl in. The curling in, you have to be careful. It's not bad to curl in. It's just it can lead to kind of pulling your head forward. You don't want to feel that your head is being pulled by your arms. You want to feel like, good, Stephanie, your body is being moved from your core, that the core is what's helping you cross over. So I like to say rib cage to opposite hip. rib cage squeezing to opposite hip. Great. So if this is good, stay with it. If you're ready for more, bring your knees up. Exhale, cross one leg long. Cross one leg long. God, Frank, that book is fascinating. You should read it, Stephanie. It's called Let's Get Physical. I'm happy to lend it to you when I'm finished, actually, because you were in New York when some of this stuff was happening. And I was in New York right after a lot of it was happening in the fitness world. So it's kind of really interesting to see the evolution. And one of the first places I ever taught was on 57th and I think First. And it was exactly that. It was this boutique fitness studio. Now, she wasn't doing any of the Pilates, any of that kind of bar stuff. But it was a similar idea for the ladies of the Upper East Side, which were also a cast of characters and a hoot. And I'd never been anything around like that in my entire life. It was definitely a small town girl moment, even though I didn't consider myself to be a small town girl. Come back through center, hug both knees into chest. Deep breath in. So let's do a nice, really good, juicy twist after all of that. Bring knees together. Let your arms open out somewhere comfortable. Now, in general, if you bring your arms up a little too high in a twist, it actually doesn't feel as relaxing as if you bring your arms a little bit lower. They can be wide, but I always like to say just sort of a little bit under where your armpits would be. Okay, feet in constructive rest. Exhale both knees to your left. Now, this twist always brings up issues in my right knee for me. So I slide my knee on top of my knee and I do more of an easy traditional twist. But some of you are totally fine and it feels really nice to bring left foot on top of right knee. This will deepen the hip aspect of the hip opening aspect. Now, there is a way to do it with a knee that's not so, you can take the foot on the knee, but instead of letting that foot drag your knee down, you press your knee up into the foot. It makes the pose feel more like a hip thing, and it doesn't feel as relaxing. So if you like the idea of opening your hip and having more of an active twist, so you can really press your right shoulder blade down, you almost feel some core activity happening, then this would be the way to do the pose more safely for your knee. You can see my right foot's almost completely down on the mat, but not relaxing. Otherwise, if you want to relax, stack the knees, reach your right arm long, roll the top of your right shoulder up and back so that it feels like you're rolling, like you're throwing a glass of water behind you with your right shoulder or tipping it over. Deep breath in. For some of you, that could be a glass of Chardonnay that you're tipping back over your shoulder. No judgment. Come back through center. Pause for a moment in the center. Hug both knees to chest. Draw your knees out to your armpits. Modified happy baby. Or grab your ankles and draw your thighs down as you hold your feet, your ankles, or even the back of your knees if the ankles are a little out of reach. Does it feel better to you in this position to reach your tailbone away from you? That's going to put a little arch in your lower back. Does it feel better to press your low back in? The answers are always what's the feedback in your body? Deep breath in, full breath out. Come back to constructive rest, feet wide, knees together. Exhale, both knees to the right windshield wiper. If you know right away that you're going to go to the easier, I shouldn't say easier, it's just less of a hip opener variation, stack your knees. If you want to play with this hip opener variation, right foot on top of left. If you're fine, you're fine. If you're not, press your leg, your bottom leg, up into your top foot. So you're taking some of that tendency for the shin and the femur not to be talking to themselves properly. And then in either case, left arm reaching way to the left, and you can deepen that sensation of the upper body opening by rolling your left shoulder up and back. It's like taking your armpit up towards the top of your shoulder and then gluing the back of your shoulder straight down into your mat. Deep breath in, full breath out. And then unhook your legs, turn to your right, take a moment on your side body